to give this one your best attention. Okay? Alright guys, so we are starting our Alright. So Unit 5, Lesson 5 will be Systems of Inequalities. So do you guys remember yesterday? We talked about graphing inequalities. Now we're going to be graphing systems of inequalities. So 2 inequalities on the same graph. Okay? So 2 or more linear inequalities that are graphed together are known as a system of inequalities. The solution is the area in which both inequalities overlap. Jacob, you have a pencil to write your notes down? So come on up. Because you need your participation credit, right?
I forgot. I didn't even know we had participation credits. I thought your grades said in class.
But the participation I put in every 2 weeks, and I'll bring your grade down if you don't.
Wait, Miss.
What?
Never mind.
I've gotten 100% participation every day, right? Because I have to participate.
Yeah, I do the notes. Wait, do I get participation?
Everybody does.
But like, have I gotten my participation lately? Have I participated?
It's Algebra 1. Alright. Of course, he's got to sharpen his pencil. So, we are going to graph these 2 systems of inequalities. So, the first thing we need to do is we're going to graph the first one. And I'm going to graph the first one in red. Okay? So, we're going to graph the y-intercept first. So, it's at -1. Because the y-intercept is this right here. Okay? And what's the slope of this? -1. So that means we go down 1 and to the right 1. Down 1 to the right 1. And we repeat this pattern until we start to get a general idea of what this is looking like. Guys, you should be doing this alongside as I do it so that you get your participation grade, guys.
Oh, this pencil sucks.
Well, then bring your own pencils if you don't like mine. Who's stopping me?
Oh my. I'm sorry.
Okay. So, is this one going to be a dashed or a solid line? What do you think?
A dash.
Good. It's going to be dashed. How did you know it was going to be dashed?
I don't know.
Yes.
Good guess. But does anybody know why it's dashed?
Because we don't got the line under the what's it called?
Good. The inequality.
That part.
Yep. So we put the dashed line, and then remember we have to shade it. Oh my gosh, can we get you another pencil, please, Tristan? So then we have to shade it. Now.
Just you're being disruptive.
So, y is greater than. So do you shade above or below?
Below.
Greater than. So you shade
Above.
above. Tristan, you're gonna ruin all my colored pencils. Can we get you a regular pencil, please?
I don't have a rubber pencil.
I know you don't, but I do.
What? Oh. Oh, never mind, miss. Hold on, go on.
How do you remember your phone every day but not a pencil?
Because I always keep it in my pocket.
Well, put your pencil in your pocket,
And people
too.
don't take my phone.
What? Okay.
People don't take my phone, so it's like.
What do you mean I don't take your phone? What do you think?
No, people don't take my phone. Yeah, someone took my pencil. People be taking my pencil.
They steal your pencil?
Yeah, they be on
You gotta
my
guard that. Like.
He took it.
No, I did not.
I let you borrow it and you took it. You didn't ask how to keep it.
Dude, that's how I feel, bro. They can me all day.
So then, where am I starting on the next graph?
These.
-5. So you're gonna go down to -5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then what's the slope? What's the number implied in front of the x? 1. What's the number in front of the x? 1. 1. So that means your slope is you go up 1 over 1. Up 1 over 1. And you keep doing that until you see what the line looks like. And is this one going to be solid or dashed line?
Dash.
Dash.
Because there's no line in the symbol.
Yes, I see.
Okay. Because no one would and then talking to people really.
I know, so I have to wear these like disposable ones when I teach, because otherwise you can't hear me. So y is less than. So am I shading above or below?
Below.
Below. When it's less than, you shade below.
Oh my gosh, listen to that.
I mean, it is. You're not wrong, right?
Now it's a triangle.
All right.
Wait, what kind of triangle is that again, miss?
Right. All right. So let's talk about what we get as our answer. So I want to talk about what each of these regions mean, because I ask a lot of questions on the test about these regions, so I want to make sure it's clear for you guys. So what do you notice about this region right here that I'm kind of like looking at right here? What do you notice about this section where I put the green check? It's shaded by both. Anybody have a hypothesis on what that means when it's shaded by both? It contains solutions to not only one, but both of the equations or inequalities, right? So any point in this region that's in the double shaded, you can plug that point into either inequality and it will satisfy it. Now what about the region that only the red is shaded? What do you think? It will only be sufficient for the first one. And then same for the blue, only will satisfy the second one. And then what do you think about the region that neither has shaded?
None.
It doesn't satisfy either one. Now there are probably about 3 or 4 questions on the test based around that. Now you can't get your way out of taking the test in class, so you gotta take it right in front of me, okay? I gotta have some accountability that I know you know what you're doing on your own. Alright, so let's go ahead and try number 2. Alright, so number 2, I'm gonna do this one in green. What is the y-intercept?
It's 7.
Good, it's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're going to go up 1 and over how many?
3.
Good, 1, 2, 3. And as you can see, this graph would go off the graph, but you see it would continue the other way, so you can go down 1 and over 3 as well to continue the graph out. Down 1 over 3. And once you have an idea of what it looks like, you can draw a line. And will this line be dashed or solid? Dashed. Looks something like this. And then we have to shade it.
Wait, is that dash?
It is dashed. Yeah, it's hard to see.
That green is so.
I know, sorry. So is it going to be shaded above or below?
Below.
Why is it below?
What? I thought it was positive, miss.
Y is less than.
Less than. It's the symbol. Which direction the symbol is, Tristan?
Oh, sure. I'm stupid.
Does it make sense now?
Somewhat, yeah.
It's when it's less than is when you shade below. So you shade below when it's less than. There are a lot of questions about the shading and the dash line and stuff on the test. I already made it, so. Alright, so this one we're going to graph. What's my y-intercept on the blue equation?
4.
Good, so we're going to start at 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And our slope is -1. See that, -1? Which means we go down 1 over 1. Down 1 over 1. And once you have that, we determine, is the line solid or dashed here?
Solid.
Good. Why is the line solid?
And it's greater than, or, yeah, greater than or equal to.
Good, the equal to part. And am I going to shade above or below?
Above.
Good, because it's greater than, I'm going to shade above. So as you can see, there's 4 types of regions. You have to understand what each one means. This satisfies none. This satisfies
Both.
this satisfies only the blue, the second one, and this satisfies only the first one. So that's what the regions mean. Like I said, I will ask you about the regions on the test. So do we have any questions on this part? All right. So these 2 equations are not in what we call slope-intercept form, so we're going to have to get them into slope-intercept form before we can do anything. So this one is going to become, we're going to just rewrite it here. Subtract x on both sides. That gives me negative 4y is less than or equal to negative x plus 24. Divide by negative 4. And we get y. What happens when I divide by a negative? I have to do what with my inequality? Flip it. Good. So it's y is greater than 1/4 x minus 6. That's your new equation. That's the one we're going to use to graph. Now for this one right here, I'm going to add 2x to both sides. And that's going to give me y is less than or equal to 2x plus 1. And those are my 2 equations that I can use to graph. So let's graph the blue one first. So what's my y-intercept on the blue one? Negative. Good. So down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then from there we go up 1 over how many? Not 2, but the denominator is 4. Up 1 over 1, 2, 3, 4. Up 1 over 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. And when we graph this, is it going to be solid or dashed? Good, it's going to be solid. And am I going to shade above or below? Above. Tristan, you with us?
Yeah.
What? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. What? Oh, I see. Yeah, you can't do that. It won't work. So then the next equation, what's our y-intercept? Good, you're starting at 1. And you're going to go up 1, 2 over 1. Up 1, 2 over 1. And is this line going to be solid or dashed?
Solid.
Good. Am I going to shade above or below?
Below.
What do these regions represent? What does the double shaded region mean?
Both.
It satisfies both inequalities. Blue satisfies only the blue equation. Red satisfies only the red. And the little white part only satisfies the white. Now remember, if it falls on a solid line, it's included. But if it falls on a dashed line, it is not included. Okay? So any questions so far on that? All right, let's go ahead and move into the next one. So x is less than negative 4. So this one, anytime you have x is equal to, greater than anything with an x, it's going to be a vertical line. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be a vertical line. And is it going to be a vertical dashed line or solid line? What's the inequality on this? Does it have an equal to underneath it? On the first one? No, so it's going to be dashed. So this one is dashed. And we have to decide which way to shade. Now there is no above or below. But which side of that line are values less than -4 for x? We've got on the left.
Wait, can I see the last question real quick?
The one before it?
Yeah. Okay, I'm good.
Okay. Alright, so the next one, we graph our y-intercept. What's the y-intercept of this?
-2.
-2. So you start at the y-intercept, -2. It's negative, so do I go up or down?
Down.
Down 1, 2, 3 over 1, 2. And then we can also go up 1, 2, 3 over 1, 2. And then you'll have some idea of what your line looks like. And is this line solid or dashed?
Solid.
Good. And it's going to be shaded above or below?
Below.
Below. So, again, what does it mean when there's neither region is shaded? The white region. What does that mean about it? Doesn't satisfy any equation. Yep, there's that question on the test, so just reminding you.